Hello guys and welcome to a new video, and today we are going to talk about aviation phraseology and what do air traffic controllers say, and we are going to study it together and try to understand the clearances that are given and everything that they say basically, and the pilot's communication too. So today we are going to listen to LiveATC audios that I recorded before, and I will try to explain everything that the controller and the pilot said. Obviously, I'm not a professional, I'm just here studying with you guys, so let's study together and let's try to learn together this aviation phraseology. So, we are going to study the communications of the position of tower in Faro Airport. In this case, I think the position of tower can do the position of ground. So as you can understand, here in the Faro Airport, there's three positions: ground, approach, and tower. Approach is for the planes that are probably landing and taking off, but not in the ground. The tower gives the clearance to take off and to land, and the ground takes every plane that it's clearly on the ground. So it depends on the airport, but I think in this case, in Faro Airport, it's like this. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about Faro Airport. We have this big runway with 2,400 meters, something like that, by 45 meters. The runway it's 28 and runway 10. And why is that? It's because of the compass. Okay, guys, let's go back to Fist 1 and try to understand the compass. I will try to draw it here. Imagine that we have, oh, this is not good. Imagine that we have the compass here, okay? So if I draw a line here, and let me just do a straight line here, here would be 270, right? And here should be 90. And the runway 28, it's pointing to 280 degrees, and the runway 10 it's pointing to 100 degrees. Okay, it's just like this. This is why these numbers are on the runway, just to start. And yeah, this is just the beginning. Let's talk a little bit now about the taxi here, like not the runway. So we have, if I'm not mistaken, let me just confirm, we have Papa here. This whole line is Papa. Okay. We have some holding points to the runway, like here. I would say here too, and here, 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 and here. Okay. We have these holding points. Then we have in the sector where the planes will stay, we have the stands, obviously here a lot of stands, but we have here Bravo, we have here Charlie 2, we have here Charlie 1, we have here Delta, and we have, where is Alpha? Alpha is missing, and Alpha, I think this is Alpha, like this connection here, okay? And we still have Foxtrot here. We have near Foxtrot, we have Romeo Golf. Okay. And one is missing, and it's probably Romeo Delta. Okay. So here we have it. Everything on the ground. I think I'm not missing something, so I think it's all right. I'm just checking. No, we have Echo. We have Echo. Where is Echo? Where is Echo? Oh, it's here. Okay, so this is Delta and this is Echo. Okay, so this is the basics of this airport because it's important for what we are going to do next. That is listening to their traffic controller and try to understand the clearance that he is going to give. Imagine that a plane is taxiing to take off. Their traffic controller will need to say something like taxi via Delta Echo to holding point runway 28. So this is just for you to understand what are these letters and what's the meaning of it. So it's always part of the airport, And let's go for the next phase where I will try to show you this a little bit better. So right now we have here in Paint, obviously I love using Paint and I don't know why. I'm trying to find a way to do better, but I can't. Now the airport is upside down, okay, because it's easier to understand it like this. So south it's up and north is down. As you can see all the letters here: Echo, Delta, Papa, Charlie 2, the stands. So we can see here everything, okay guys? And now we are just going to listen to the air traffic controllers and the pilots, and I will try to explain what's happening in these radio conversations, okay? So let's go for the first audio.
Ryanair 5 Tango Golf, ready for taxi.
Ryanair 5 Tango Golf, taxi Delta Papa, holding point, runway 28.
Delta Papa, holding point, runway 28. Ryanair 5 Tango Golf.
Transavia 32 Juliet, wind at 250 degrees, 10 knots, runway 28, clear to land.
So we're back to Paint to explain you what happened, okay? So as you can see, the first thing that was said was by Ryanair 5 Tango Golf, and was that they were ready for taxi. So they had a pushback before, they got approved from the ground, and now they want to taxi. So they contact in this case, the controller, the tower, and they are asking for basically the route to the runway. So what the tower is giving to Ryanair is basically Ryanair 5 Tango Golf, taxi Delta, so this side right here, and then Papa, okay, Papa is this one, so he's going to turn here to the left, and in the final holding point, runway 28, so it should stay right here, so the plane would stay exactly here. Then we listen the Transavia, okay, so the tower, probably the Transavia came from the controller that was in approach. The controller in approach said to contact tower in 119 decimal something, I don't know, it's like the frequency of the radio, and then tower contacted Transavia, and they said Transavia 32 Juliet, wind 250 degrees, 10 knots, runway 28, clear to land. So this is basically exactly what he said. So right now you know the wind is coming from 250 degrees, okay, so again in the compass, and then he said 9 knots, okay, so the 9 knots, 10 knots, so he said basically the wind speed, okay, just like that. And after he says runway 28, so it's this one, runway 28, and clear to land. So this is a clearance to land the aircraft. And in the same time, the Ryanair is going to the holding point to waiting for his time to go for the departure. So let's go again to the audio and let's listen to the next one.
Ryanair 5 Tango Golf, line up and wait, runway 28, call me when ready.
Currently waiting on the cabin, Ryanair 5 Tango Golf.
I have no inbound, so if you wish you can line up and wait.
I will hold for the cabin for now, Ryanair 5 Tango Golf.
Roger, hold short, call me when ready.
We're advised for the Ryanair 5 Tango Golf.
Transavia 32 Juliet, vai a Bravo, standard 318.
Bravo for standard 318.
So guys, what happened now? So right now Transavia landed, and there's some important things that happened. The Ryanair was already near the holding point, and the Transavia airplane landed. So the air traffic controller just said to the Ryanair, so I will just read it: Ryanair 5 Tango Golf, line up and wait, runway 28, call me when ready. So what he said was, okay, you can go to the runway, but just wait to the Transavia to go out, and when he give the clearance to take off, he can take off. Then the Ryanair said something he was holding for the cabin crew or something like that. Sometimes it's difficult to understand pilots, like the radio, it's a bit difficult, but air traffic controllers you can always understand, so that's what we need. And after the air traffic controller said, I have no inbound, so if you wish you can line up and wait, that means that probably the air traffic controller didn't have aircraft to land before this Transavia, so we could stay in the runway with no problem, just waiting for the Transavia to leave the runway. But the Ryanair said that he was holding short, so the Ryanair just hold short on the holding point. So then the Transavia landed, and the air traffic controller said, Transavia 32 Juliet via Bravo stand 318. So there's obviously something that happened here, because I think the communication was very short. I don't know if it was just to be a little bit more fast, and I think the important thing is that the pilot understands the air traffic controller, but I think the full sentence should be something like Transavia 32 Juliet taxi via Bravo stand 318. So it was just the word taxi that was missing, or something like Transavia vacate right, something like that, because it always depends in the situation or what's happening in the airport, if you have a lot of traffic or not. But in this case, the Transavia left the runway by this Romeo Golf, I think, if I'm not wrong, and then he turned right to Papa. He was already on Papa, so the air traffic controller just said Transavia 32 Juliet via Bravo, that it's this one, to stand 318, that it's this one, so it's almost direct. So it was just this, and then now in the next audio we will listen to the takeoff clearance.
Ryanair 5 Tango Golf, wind 250 degrees 9 knots, runway 28 clear for takeoff, new QNH 1013.
Okay, that's clear for takeoff, runway 28, new QNH 1013, Ryanair 5 Tango Golf.
Speedboard 515, revised QNH 1013, in sequence, line up and wait, runway 28.
QNH 1013, in sequence, line up and wait, runway 28, speedboard 515.
So, now we are here back in paint. I will not draw anything, I think, but basically it was just their traffic controller giving the clearance for the Ryanair takeoff. He said Ryanair 5 Tango Golf, wind 250, 9 knots, before was 10 knots, so the wind changed by 1 knot. That it's always going around these numbers, it's never the same. So, and then he said runway 28 cleared for takeoff, new QNH 1013. So what is the QNH? Normally, I think in the most cases, the QNH is not in the clearance for takeoff, but in this specific case it was, because it changed, so it's important to give that information to the pilot. And what is the QNH? The QNH is the atmospheric pressure setting that makes like an aircraft altimeter show altitude above the sea level. So it's sometimes changing, and their traffic controllers need to give it to the pilots. And then after he make the clearance for takeoff to the Ryanair, you can hear him said to the British Airways that it's the Speedbird, that for him to line up and wait again, like the Ryanair, and he gave the same QNH, the new QNH, to this airplane. So it was just these guys. The pilots are always repeating what their traffic controller says, so that's very important to their traffic controller. After saying the clearance, listen to the pilot and say if it's correct or not, because if it's not correct, he needs to say it again, and finally doing the readback correct. So this video was short, but it's just a little start in this area where we are going to listen to air traffic controllers and try to understand the positions and the phraseology. So yeah, thank you very much for being here, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Probably the next video will just be the approach in Faro Airport, or maybe just the ground if it's available, because sometimes I think Tower is doing ground. I don't know, because it's not summer yet and there's not that much planes. But in summer I understand that it's very difficult to do to do both. So thank you very much, guys. See you in the next video, and bye bye.